Hello and welcome to this special episode of the Autocar Professional interview. Our guest today is a first-generation entrepreneur who hails from Haveri in Karnataka and now heads a venture, his own venture in Detroit and Dallas. And I'm talking to Mr. Prabhu Patil, President and CEO of Prolim International, our guest today. Thank you very much, Prabhu, for sparing your time.
Thank you.
And tell us, how's your journey? I mean, you didn't start off as an entrepreneur, right? You were working with an MNC.
Correct.
And then you got posted in US.
Right. So I went to US working for IBM, and as I went through my technical career, I got more fascinated with the technology and was completed in my growth in this area. Then I found that I had to improve my sales, marketing in other areas where I didn't get an opportunity to work on. So I thought I should go to a business school, and as a part of that, I applied for that business school, and there was an essay which asked about what do you do 10 years after completing MBA. So I wrote an essay about that I will start my own business, and that's how I wrote, and took 3 months. And
Did you write that essay thinking on that topic, thinking it to be an interesting topic, or did you actually have that plan in mind while writing the essay?
Yeah, initially I was just trying to answer the question. Then as I found that it's very, very competitive in this in the business school, University of Michigan Ross Business School. So I had to really put my whole heart in writing it. What's real? It's my story, my essay kind of a thing. It took me about 3 months to write that essay, and that's where I wrote, I will start my own business. So then I went to school, did my MBA, and after that I started working into different companies like UGS and Siemens PLM. Then after that I decided, okay, this is the time now to start my own company, and that's how it started.
What's the scope you see for your business in India?
So India is a very fascinating market. We have been in India since last more than 10 years, but it was more of a offshore delivery center supporting to our US European markets. But as we see that India is the fastest growing economy in the world, and every sector, automotive, aerospace, machinery, every industry that we work on are growing at leaps and bounds, and the same technology and same process that we are using in helping our customers in the US, that can be applied here as well.
And since you work with clients in US and are working now with clients in India, what is the kind of difference you observe in terms of approach in the area of engineering between, say, someone in Detroit as against someone in, say, Delhi NCR?
So there is a significant difference in the United States or Detroit, where it's a mature market, where the customers are demanding more functionality, more capability. The government has put in more regulations, and customers want more for less. All these technologies like AI, the machine learning, every technology has been put into the automotive industry, or cars, for example. So the approach is more of a system engineering, requirements-driven product development and manufacturing. It's called system engineering. The same thing is coming up in India as well.
Could you throw some light on what kind of technologies they could be working for current and maybe future applications?
So we have 3 centers in India: Bangalore, where we are sitting here today, and Hubli, and recently we started in Gurgaon, Delhi. So the most of the high-end technology space, we are heavily into development all in Bangalore, and Hubli is more of back offices or mundane operations, etc. Because getting the talent in different locations is different. So now we open in Gurgaon. Gurgaon, again, a mature market with a lot of talented resources available. Then we are ramping up to support automotive industry and aerospace in that region.
As a PLM solutions provider, what kind of role do you think you'll have to really play to kind of tap the opportunities?
We born in Detroit, which is the automotive mecca of the world. Pretty much every company is in Detroit. Everybody speaks the auto language there. So it's always a forefront of technology innovation. In terms of the automotive new trends, so the key trends are artificial intelligence, machine learning, mobility, and Internet of Things, or the Industry 4.0. So the key is that what is going on is underlying all this is a digital transformation. So if you look at what we call in PLM world digital twin, whatever you see in the physical world, a car or in a two-wheeler, the same thing you have to see it in digitally, complete digitally in the computer system.
And also another factor, as the industry progresses, there is a reduction or say fast forwarding of or shrinking of the product life cycles.
Yes.
And in such a scenario, one would assume that the profitability comes under, is challenged. There's a pressure on sustaining profitability.
Profitability of the auto industry?
Of the OEMs. And thereby some effect on the service providers as well. So how do you address that challenge?
So if you look at when we were was working with Toyota many years ago, it used to take around 34 months to introduce a new vehicle, the part of their R&D process. So the goal is to bring it down to 24 months. So in order to sustain and survive in the marketplace, in the competitive world, where the new companies are coming from Korea, a worldwide competition now, so this innovation is very critical, and hence your product life cycles have to be shorter. If you look at 10 years ago in any vehicle, automotive car or even your two-wheelers, there's heavy mechanical components, then a little bit of electronics. Now if you look at that, there's a huge company, in particular new cars, the new lots of software going into that, every components, every subsystems. So if you don't innovate that, you will not survive in this marketplace.
Any new areas of application, especially in this area of disruptions?
So the major disruption is the Industry 4.0. So if you look at Industry 1.0 is all about steam engines. Industry 2.0 is all about automation. 3.0 is all internet and all revolution. 4.0 is all about connectivity, Internet of Things. So if you look at the new trend, it's not a trend anymore, it's a necessity right now, where the vehicles are coming out of assembly line, you're going through this whole series of manufacturing and automation, and you're collecting that data and making the decisions. Or your vehicles or your equipment, the heavy machinery equipment, for example, who are in the field, you want to see the performance. Getting that informed data continuously and looking at its performance, improvement or predictability, or even also look at vehicle where there are a lot of features, vehicle or any product, even iPhone for example, a lot of features. Many people, most of the consumers use very few functions. Now you can get that feedback, what features they are using and which one don't. Then you can obsolete some of those and improve on add-on things. So this Internet of Things, which is revolutionary not only automotive industry, it's pretty much every industry.
And in India now, as we are moving towards the next emission norm, which is Bharat Stage 6. There are a lot of technological advancements happening.
Yes.
And from PLM perspective also, has your role becoming more engaging in projects related to BS6 here? Could you throw some light on, in what area do you do, say, solution providers like you come and play a role in such new?
So if I compare US and India, the same scenario many years ago. The California, Los Angeles, is a lot of pollution. That's why US came up with EPA regulations. And India now is New Delhi is a lot of pollution. That's why this Bharat Stage 6 is coming up, which is based on Euro 4. Euro 4 now is beyond that. It's good for the environment, good for all of us who are living here. So because it improves the quality of life. So in order to do that, I mean, all these manufacturing OEMs and all, obviously there's a little bit pain involved here. It's estimated around 70 to 90,000 crores of additional investment needs to happen. But if you change that thing, adopt this technology or adopt these regulations, it will improve the bottom line. The PLM as a solution providers, we work with some of the US automotive companies to improve the design of engines. For example, if you're an ICE engine, design of the engines to an entire exhaust system, to applying this CAD, CAM, PLM, CAE simulation to simulate the entire thing, and as they testing it out, collecting the data and analyzing and fine-tuning the design. So that's how that emissions you can control and meet those regulations. Similarly, in India now with Bharat Stage 6, so in order to bring that, you have to invest in technology. How can you build those products, either it's an IC engine or electric vehicle in this case, that can be build those products with applying this technology to make it lighter, make it simpler, make it faster, and less fuel consumption.
And safer.
Safer. So applying all these things.
Right.
So one of the things is, I read a long time back, I think Marshall, I believe it's what got you here will not take you there. We all think we as a technical people, hey, I'm technology, I'm smart and all, now I'm ready I'm an engineer, I can do the business. It's totally different. So it will brought you here as a technology person or a business person on level. You learn what to do. Now I want to get there, be an entrepreneur. You need to unlearn certain things. There is nobody behind you. You're alone. You're walking this. There is nothing book you can read and follow through. So you will have to learn along the way. Bumps comes along the way, and you have a strong stomach and keep that. So what I used to tell myself that where I came from corporate world, we had everybody else. You got an IT person helping you, you got an admin person helping you. Now when you become an entrepreneur, you're on your own. There's nobody behind you if you look around. So you have to keep saying, hey, your salary is $1. Your salary is $1. I have to say a lot louder, and then you have to keep going. Don't worry about it. So if you keep telling and unlearn that what you are used to, and transform yourself, and then focusing, okay, this is what I know, I'm going to focus on it. I see there is a market, so I see it within the business, but it takes time. I'm ready, slow and steady till win the race. If you have that attitude, mentality, and patience, and willingness to learn as it's a journey, not an event, and it will be successful.
I think that explains how your venture got rated as one of the fastest growing in the US, right?
Yes.
Yeah. On that note, Prabhu, thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Thank you very much.
And wishing you and your team at Prolim all the very best.
Thank you very much.
And thank you very much for watching this special episode of the Autocar Professional interview. We were chatting with Mr. Prabhu Patil, President and CEO of Prolim International, a first-generation entrepreneur. He shared his stories. And thank you for watching this episode, and we will see you again. Goodbye.